McDiarmid Park in Perth for the match between Scotland and Latvia in the Euro 2019 Under-21 qualifying match. It will be an interesting game given that Scotland played in Latvia last month and they won that game by 2-0. The pitch is getting ready for this one. It's a cold and crisp evening here in Perth, but certainly we hope to be warmed up by good action out on the field, and hopefully Scotland can make it 2 wins out of 2 against the Latvians. They did manage to beat them last month, and Scotland have had a decent start so far in the campaign. When you look at the results, it was a great start against the Netherlands with that 2-0 win in Paisley. They did lose to England down in Middlesbrough by 3-1, but they bounced back with the 2-0 win in Latvia last month, and certainly that will give the Scots confidence going into this one. If you look at the league table as well, there's games going on this evening. England have won this evening, and when you look at the Netherlands, they are currently in a very healthy lead against Andorra. That one finishing up shortly, so no doubt the Netherlands, they will go on to 8 points, so it is important for Scotland to get that win tonight against Latvia and back things up. Delighted to say that I am joined by the Scottish FA's Kenny Miller. Kenny, good evening to you. Looking at the league table there, how do you assess Scotland's start so far?
I think it's fair to say it's been very strong. I think the opening day win against the Netherlands surprised a few people maybe outside the camp, but maybe not the guys inside. They were always very confident of being able to get the job done. Slight setback in England, recovered well in Latvia on a horrible night on a very, very soft surface, so that sets them up well for tonight.
Incidentally, the Netherlands have won 8-0 against Andorra, so just sneaked a win there. Yeah, there are the fixtures. It's Latvia this evening, Ukraine here again on Tuesday evening, and when you look at that, Kenny, there are certainly opportunities for Scotland to build up some points. It's going to be interesting. England, of course, running away with it just now, but how confident are you of getting the 6 points from the 2 home games now to give us a healthy start going into the turn of the year?
Well, Scotland, famous last words maybe, Scotland were dominant away at Latvia again, despite the surface and giving away the home advantage, so reasonably confident for tonight. Ukraine maybe a bit trickier, but I made reference to that a few times. There's a lot of confidence within the group. There's no arrogance, there's no complacency, just a quiet determination.
Well, the referee is getting ready in the tunnel there, and that game against Latvia, what sort of opposition will they pose given what happened last month with Scotland getting that win?
They were very, very stuffy. They were happy to sit in deep and try and restrict Scotland, but like, to Scotland's credit, I think they scored twice in the space of about 5 minutes. Scotland's dominant players cut them open. And I know how meticulous Scott Gemmell is going into these things, and his game plan was executed perfectly.
Yeah, Ollie Burke and Oliver McBurney getting the goals against Latvia, but it was a good start. It was a great start, the Netherlands, and we know how difficult a team they are, and the talent pool that they have. They got a draw against England on opening day. Scotland went into their opening game, beat the Netherlands 2-0. It really gave Scott Gemmell and the team something to build on.
I think we said that on the night. I think for anyone who wasn't there, they might look at that and think maybe backs to the wall, Scotland, early goal, dig it out, but more than merited on the night. They were superior to the Dutch in every aspect, and actually the only thing maybe different from last night was the overall score. I thought Morgan in particular that night was unplayable. Oh,
it was fantastic, and when you look at the game, I thought he played well. Certainly second half against England down at Middlesbrough, somebody that has been very important in this campaign, there's no doubt about it. But we'll check the teams in a minute, but for Scotland there seems to be a real continuity as well about this group. Not a lot changes. How key is that?
Well, that comes back to Scott Gemmell. Scott Gemmell assisted Scott Booth in the Victory Shield win when people like Ross McCrory, Robbie McCrory also in the squad were 14, 15 years old. So he has grown as a coach, as these boys have grown as players, and there is a lot of continuity. Listen, he's loyal, he doesn't turn a blind eye to players in form, but he is loyal to his core group, and I think we can see the progress there.
Well, we certainly can, and for Scotland. As I said, they've given themselves a chance. England will be tough to overcome, but they got the win against the Netherlands and Latvia, just that one defeat against England. 2 clean sheets as well from the 2 wins. How key has that been, the defence, because you have guys that are playing now with Scott McKenna and John Souttar week in, week out in the Scottish Premiership, or almost certainly with Scott McKenna now coming into Aberdeen.
For all the talk about a lack of centre-back options in Scotland, I do think there are a few coming through that are showing a lot of potential. I think I've been talking John Souttar up since he was 16, to the extent that there was almost a restraining order taken out, so everyone knows my thoughts on him. Scott McKenna is one who's taken a bit longer to come through, but the potential was always there. I think he's added to his skill on the ball. He's now comfortable to play it out from the back. He was always big, always strong, always brave. I think he had a slight health concern at one point as well, but as a pair they complement each other so well, and it is a key to this team.
Yeah, and when you've got somebody like Ollie Burke that can drop down, I know he's out injured just now, but when the other players playing with him can see that he's in the English Premier League, he's been in Germany, do you think that rubs off on some of the other players, that they want to take that next step as well? I
think there's a few natural leaders in the group. I mean, there are guys who hog the headlines and are very chirpy, to say the least, but there are a few unsung heroes, people like Alan Campbell, who covers every blade of grass in the midfield, someone like Liam Smith, who pound for pound for me was probably the best player when they were away in Latvia. Greg Taylor, another one who gets about his business, doesn't like to mention that he scored the winning goal against Brazil every 2 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, he's prone to mentioning that, but no, there are a few standout performers, a few natural flair players, but some steady guys that do make all the difference.
A cold evening, but the fans coming into McDiarmid Park, and they'll be looking for some optimism. Certainly the building blocks there. We saw some players making their debut last night up at Pittodrie for Scotland, and the youngsters, as we said, have started positively as well. What do you consider a success, qualifying or developing players for the A-team?
Well, I think Malcolm Mackay said very early on in his reign as performance director that he would be judging people on making it to tournaments, that yes, it's about development, but part of that development is getting to these tournaments, getting that tournament experience, playing that number of games against that calibre of opposition. And personally, I approve of Malcolm Mackay leaving the under-21 squad intact rather than calling them up for a few minutes with the A-team, so it's a good call.
And the teams take the field here in Perth. Scotland against Latvia, and it is an evening that Scotland will hope to go back to back with victories over Latvia after that meeting last month. So the teams are now in position, and before the match we will have the national anthems.
With the teams now lined up on the pitch, we will start the national anthems, starting with Latvia. And now for Scotland, the flower of Scotland. and is here for tonight's starting lineups.
Let's take a look at the teams then, and Scotland make 2 changes from the team that beat Latvia last month. Ollie Burke is injured and Dom Thomas drops onto the bench. 6 of tonight's starting 11 have started in every qualifier in the campaign so far. Latvia make 1 change from the game last month. Marks Curtis is out, Roberts Uldrikis is in. He is the only man to score in Latvia's 5 qualifying games in the campaign. Well, when you look at the team, Kenny, for Scotland, as I said, there is a bit of continuity there. Over half have started in all the qualifiers. Your thoughts?
Can I mention someone that hasn't started in all the games? A big fan of Ollie McDiarmid, always have been. I think he added something when he came on against England. He gave them a physical presence, a focal point up front. He teed up the goal for Chris Cadden, and he was crucial in Latvia. He's an infectious personality off the pitch. I think he brings a lot on it. He holds the ball up well, he links. It's that cliche good touch for a big man. I can't believe I've said that out loud, but it does apply to Ollie McDiarmid.
Well, there's the 2 captains, John Suter of Scotland and Antons Chernomordis of Latvia. Today's referee is from Denmark. The officials, Jørgen Bouchard, is in charge of this one. Greg Taylor, the man that scored against Brazil and France in the under-20s in the summer, something that he likes to mention, it's fair to say, and given he's the only Scotsman to score a winner against Brazil, who wouldn't like to mention that? The Latvians here have had a slow start to the campaign. They did get a 1-0 draw against Ukraine. That was following a 0-0 draw with Andorra. They have lost their last 3. Chris Cadden will play in a League Cup final this month against Celtic. He starred in that win for Motherwell in the semi-final against Rangers. Well, Scotland have certainly built up a bit of momentum. Despite that defeat in Middlesbrough against England, I think they can be happy so far with how they've started, but it's all about winning games such as this at home, as the match is now underway and it's Latvia kicking off. Scotland's Liam Smith with an early touch. Scotland looking to try and get the ball down and play it. McBurney going in. Now Morgan, he's had a good campaign so far. Wins an early free kick.
No doubt that Morgan will be somebody that the Latvians have picked out. He made a big impact in the away game.
John Suter for Scotland. Liam Smith, his Hearts teammate, but he's out on loan at St Mirren this season. Ball goes all the way through to the goalkeeper, Zommers.
Pleased for someone like Scott Wright. Scott's the type of boy who's been on a lot of trips, not always even made the bench, but he's never complained, he's never mumped, he's never moaned, and he's got his chance tonight, and he deserves it on the back of his progress at Aberdeen.
McBurney looking to try and win that one and gets it down. Has the opportunity to find the aforementioned Scott Wright. Good block though by Sorokins, and Scotland have the throw. Liam Smith to take this one. And he has been playing for St Mirren. Getting first team football so important. The majority of the players in this team have been playing first team football. Stevie Mallon maybe struggling at Barnsley certainly to get some action, but it is so key at this level now. Scott Wright scored this season for Aberdeen. Lovely play here as he gets to the byline, wanting to take on the 2 men they had already managed to beat, but he wins the corner kick.
You mentioned Stevie Mallon. He's the man that picks his moment, because he scored a free kick when Scott Gemmell was down to watch him before naming the squad. He couldn't have timed it any better.
Greg Taylor goes short. Gets it back from Morgan. Taylor in again. McKenna going up, but rather than make a connection with the ball, he hits the Latvian player, and they will have a free kick. And I don't think Mr. Stuglas, as you can see there, well, I think he's more upset because his hairband has fallen out. Anyway,
it's never going to be an issue for you or I, look.
No, I don't think so. It's the grey hair that's the problem for us too. So free kick to Latvia. And when you look back at that game last month, Kenny, for Scotland, is there anything you can pick out from the Latvians to say that they could pose Scotland a danger this evening?
We're quite strong in the full-back areas. But to be honest, there was only really one team in the game that night. Scotland were utterly dominant all over the park. I don't think Alan Campbell put a foot wrong in the middle. It's no wonder Alan Burrows calls them the Lanarkshire Canty.
Well, free kick to Scotland, and it's Wright who was downed. As I said, he is a man, certainly seems to be the man for Aberdeen when they play Partick Thistle, because he scored a hat-trick against them last season, got a fantastic goal at Firhill this season, and he's one for the future, maybe one for the present, you could argue.
And I think his hat-trick at the tail end of last season came just in the nick of time to get him a call-up for Toulon.
The goalkeeper, Zomers. Not the best of clearances. Being helped out here. Latvia looking to build, but they've been caught out here. And Wright might win another corner. He does for Scotland.
Scotland do like to press high. It's one of the standout features in a Scott Gemmell team. And you can see when it pays off, it really does put the Latvians under pressure.
So it'll be Taylor. Will he go short again this time? Or will he flight this one in? Looks like the latter this time. It is. Cleared away only as far as the back post. Cadden looking to get it back into the danger zone. Blasted clear though by Latvia. Smith, he gets a bit of a break there as the downward header finds Suter, and now Taylor on the unfamiliar right hand side. In swinging cross. Cleared away by the Latvian defence, but Suter still up there. Trying to poke it through to Wright. He's unlucky. And McKenna finds Ryan Fulton, who's played every game in the campaign so far.
Just the 3 50-50s, John Suter, one in a row there. Always find it beggars belief when people question his defensive abilities. He's maybe still got aspects of his game he can improve on, but if you can't see John Suter's a talent, then you're watching the wrong game.
He's had fitness issues, but back playing regularly for Heart of Midlothian alongside somebody like Christoph Berra, who is playing regularly at the minute for the Scotland A squad, but not having the best of times club-wise at the minute. They've not been winning recently, Hearts, and they want to get back to getting 3 points off a weekend. And Scott Gemmell, there he is, the under-21s manager, a year in charge now. Kenny, what impact do you think he's made?
Always been a big fan. If you watch him in press conferences and in a media setting, he come across very calm, reserved, but when you see him behind the scenes, he's very much the passionate patriot. Players all respect him, they all like him. I think he's a very, very good fit, and as I say, he's grown with the jobs, he's moved through the age levels, and I'll put it on record now, I could see him managing Scotland one day. Oh well. A little known fact, his name is actually short for Scotland.
Scotland, yes. Scott with one T, and that is why it's shortened. He is a man with international experience, 25 caps for Scotland.
And
McKenna.
And he's managed to get Scottish teams to tournaments. He has that experience with the under-17s. Hopefully it rubs off on the 21s.
Coming up with the age groups, the Sorokins now for the Latvians. The ball in's a good one. And well, Scotland just letting the Latvian forward player there getting in between the two centre backs, and Scott Gemmell won't be happy with that, as Latvia looking to build here. And all the way back was Cadden looking for a free kick, but he concedes the corner from Stuglas, who's delighted to see his hairband's back in place. So corner kick and danger for Scotland.
Doesn't surprise me to see Chris Cadden working back. maybe shouldn't say this, but when you see stats from training, he's always one of, if not the most hard-working guy there. Pushes himself in every area. That pays off for him.
Corner kick about to be taken by Chrysatins. Flighted in and away again by Cadden for Scotland. Stuglis over his head and out, and it's a goal kick. Brian Fulton, he's kept 2 clean sheets in the group so far. And he'll be looking for yet another clean sheet tonight. Scotland playing Latvia this evening, and then it's Ukraine who come to Perth on Tuesday. Another game you can see live on the YouTube channel.
Just falling out of the game slightly. Be good to see them get the foot back in the ball.
Throw into Latvia. Sorokins with the throw. Stuglis blocked by Cadden. Right. It's misplaced there. And the Latvians can pick up. Odrikis. Now Chiganics. Scotland have the throw.
Solid at the back again from Liam Smith. Just does his job. No fuss.
McKenna stretching there as he was looking for Morgan. And Scotland have some defending to do. This time, no nonsense from McKenna as he blasts that ball forward. There's the captain, Chernamordas. Going back to the goalkeeper, Zomer. And another suspect clearance. Helped out though by Sorokins. Scotland have won it back. Cadden. He was unlucky there. The idea was right. Trying to link up with his Motherwell teammate, Campbell. Wright nips in. McBurney. Can Wright keep this one in? No, he can't. Well, coming up to the 10-minute mark, Kenny, what have you made of it so far?
It's not quite come off of the front 3, front 4 yet, but you can see Scott Gemmell's determined to keep Morgan and Wright high up the pitch, ensuring McBurney's not too isolated. I think Chris Cadden, Stevie Mallon, Alan Campbell are putting in a power of work in the centre of the pitch. Solid enough at the back. Solid but not spectacular maybe so far.
Zomers and McKenna going up for the header there. He just seemed to be caught by a trailing boot.
Didn't even flinch, boot to the back of the head, didn't blink.
Odrikis there, he's the danger man tonight for the Latvians. Here's Morgan, certainly somebody that can do something for Scotland. First shot on target of the game. And Lewis Morgan testing Zomers there, but he was equal to it at his near post. But just one that Morgan wanted to show that he can cut in off that left side and fire a shot away.
That was interesting to see whenever Morgan picks the ball up on the left. He's only got one thing in his mind.
And the opportunity there. Goalkeeper equal to it though. No real danger. Campbell.
Yeah, it was good to see Brendan Rodgers talk up the quality of the young player coming through in Scotland, and Morgan was the one that he picked out. I don't know whether Brendan Rodgers watches these YouTube streams, but he certainly keeps an eye out.
Scotland will have the throw. The ball's been in the air more than it's been on the deck at the minute. Suter. Picked up by Chiganics, given away though. Smith. Suter again. Blasted forward and all the way through to the goalkeeper, Zomers. Karklins. Chernamordas, the captain. Give it away by Latvia. McKenna. Blast forward. McBurney unlucky with the touch there. Goes out for a throw. You mentioned Ollie McBurney earlier, Kenny. What can he provide? He's scored a couple of times in the League Cup in England this season, and he scored quite a few goals in the EFL Trophy. Can he be the danger man for Scotland, certainly given what he did in the last game?
He can. Listen, he's been in and around the Swansea first team all season. I know Paul Clement thinks a lot of him. He had a loan move to Barnsley that fell through for paperwork reasons at the last minute on deadline day. And I know he's looking to take his frustrations out on Latvia and Ukraine this week. But he is someone who, there's a lot to his game. He's got great variety. As I said, he links up well. Usually he has a good touch. He's a threat in the air. And he can finish. And I think what impressed me in England was how unselfish he was. He could have taken a shot himself instead of rolling in Chris Cadden. So no, a lot to like about Ollie McBurney.
Yeah, you thought he was going to have another loan spell until it fell through in the last minute. And he certainly has to stay at Swansea and try and push his way into the fringes of the first team. Somers looks to build from the back. Scotland happy to press here, and Somers in trouble again.
And that's the other side of McBurney's game. He's happy to roll the sleeves up and put in a shift.
Well, Latvia getting away with that one. It's Campbell looking to battle Morgan in support. Scotland win the free kick. The referee from Denmark.
Stephen Craigan mentioned recently that Alan Campbell was the first in the morning at Motherwell, the last one out. He really does squeeze the most out of himself.
Suter, Smith, Wright. Well won back though by Sorokins. Stuglis, Chernomordis, Stuglis again. Looking for that ball out to this near side for Chiganiks. That's far too much on it. Suter to Fulton. Goalkeeper, he's played 3 times for Hamilton this season. Chopped and changed the goalkeepers for a variety of issues, injury in particular, but Gary Wood's back in. McBurney, Cadden looking to take it for a run up the line here. Past one and another as he can break into the box here, looking for the cutback. Right, crowded out, looking for some support. Morgan is there. It falls to Cadden, and Scotland will not get the corner there. The challenge going in, but Cadden, the man who hit it last, and it's a goal kick.
Well, that's Chris Cadden all over. He's strong, he's direct. Usually there's an end product. Dangerous ball in to begin with. Just crowded out the second time round.
On the way he was managing to get through past 2 players, but as you said, that is certainly him all over. 4 goals this season, all in the League Cup group stages. He scored 4 goals in his first 6 games this season, and he has a League Cup final to look forward to. Not happy there with the award of a free kick to Latvia.
Talking to Chris Cadden through the week, and it is interesting that he plays a slightly different role for Scotland. He's a sort of roving wing back for Motherwell, plays in one for Scotland. All good for his all-round education.
Here's Stevie Mallon looking for his former St Mirren teammate Lewis Morgan. Somers is there at the edge of the area. He's been a bit unconvincing, the goalkeeper, with his clearances. And there's another throw that was just too much on it there for Jurovicic and McKenna. Fulton. McBurney's the target. Chernomordis can clear. Wright though wins it, and wins it well. Campbell. Smith for Scotland. Forward looking for Cadden. Just too much on it there for Chris Cadden, but he was a willing runner and a good option there for Scotland.
I think signs now that Scotland are just re-establishing themselves. Chris Cadden's becoming gradually more influential. Gap starting to appear at the back.
Still 0-0 here in Perth. live on the YouTube channel. The Scottish national team, the under-21s in action here. McBurney to Campbell. Now Morgan looking to take on Litvinskis. Getting to the byline. The cross comes in. McBurney gets there first. Turn. Force wide. Back to right. He couldn't flick it on, and it's cleared away, but only as far as Alan Campbell. Now Liam Smith. Stevie Mallon. Back to John Suter, the captain. Scott McKenna. Scotland will have to build again. Taylor. Morgan, lovely play by Lewis Morgan, and now he's looking for an option. The ball into the box to the back post where Wright is waiting. Good defending by Sorokins, and Scotland have the corner kick.
And I was just about to say, one of the things Latvia have done well is to double up on Morgan and Wright to stop exactly that kind of cross. It's one of the few times Morgan's been able to isolate his man, and you saw how dangerous the delivery was.
There was a good bit of skill before that as well, and now Scotland have the opportunity from the corner kick. It's Mallon to take. Looking for McKenna. Goes over his head. And Litvinskis blasts clear for Latvia. Greg Taylor. A long ball forward, and Ollie McBurney still down there inside the penalty box, and he's taking his time and he's struggling there. Ollie McBurney, the ball is kicked out, and that's not good news for Scotland. He looks to be in a bit of discomfort, Kenny.
Nope, that has to be a concern. He's not the type to stay down.
Well, the options on the bench tonight include Ryan Hardy, Ryan Williamson, Dom Thomas, Greg Docherty, Theo Archibald, Ross McCrory, and John Ruddy is the goalkeeper. Well, there's Scott Gemmell and Peter Grant discussing what to do potentially. Peter Grant looking to give some instruction there to Alan Campbell. So not the best there as the Scotland medical team look at Ollie McBurney. It's certainly the foot area that seems to be the issue.
Well, for the reasons discussed earlier, Scotland can ill afford to lose McBurney for everything he adds to the team.
No.
There's no real like-for-like replacement, but certainly someone like Ryan Hardy could come on and give them a different kind of threat. Hopefully it doesn't come to that quite yet.
Well, he's back on his feet there, and it certainly seems to be the foot. The old metatarsal, says Dr. Shanley. Maybe not.
His dad's travelled a long way to watch him tonight, so he could do with getting back on McBurney.
Well, he's trotting about, so we'll keep an eye on him as Latvia play on. Stuglis to Karklins.
People at home should know how hard you work in these pronunciations, how much time and effort and research goes into this.
Yeah, I'm still struggling. McKenna having to try and clear the danger. Good play by Campbell there because he was under pressure, and Wright looks to drive forward as Chiganix. It's a challenge from behind.
It's a good foul, as cynical as that is to say. He took one for the team.
It was good play initially there by Campbell, but the break was on.
Killed any notion of the counter-attack. Don't know if you can call that good defending, but certainly smart defending.
And Scott Wright likes to do that, get the head down and drive at players. Suter, McBurney's back on. Comes off the head of Sorokins, and Scotland might get the, well, unfortunately it's just a throw.
I'll say this for McBurney, he always want to run on and pull his socks up. I've told him that, it always annoys me.
Well, that's his style. Smith. And it comes, just nodded away there by the big number 19. Emsis. Taylor. Mallon. Taylor again. A regular for Kilmarnock this season. They've started to pick up. McBurney back in the thick of the action. Lovely touch by Mallon. McBurney goes for goal. It's blocked and into the arms of Zommers.
Yeah, and McBurney seems to be moving pretty freely now.
There he is. The touch here from Mallon as well to give him the return. Fantastic. He's looking to try and get the shot away at every point.
I think to their credit, Latvia are defending doggedly.
Shooter has to come and clear, and I mentioned him earlier, the big number 17, Robert Suodrikis. He is the only man to score. Well, he scored Latvia's only goal of this campaign. That was in a 1-1 draw against Ukraine on match day 2 for them, and at times he's causing problems with the high ball, but I think McKenna will be up for the physical battle, that's for sure. There's Lewis Morgan, certainly a man that is impressed in this campaign so far for Scotland. Taylor to take the throw. And Morgan having to battle there. He's won the free kick. Scotland take it quickly. Morgan into the area. Zomers collects. No Scotland player there. And Latvia now looking to break away.
Scott Wright's made up a lot of ground there to cover his man.
Sorokins blasting down the left hand side. Chernomordis, the captain. Kirklands. Sorokins again. Kristatins. Kirklands. Looking for some options here. Suodrikis came short, but a good challenge there by Campbell. And the floodlights, well, some of the floodlights have seem to have turned off there. 50p in the meter, anyone?
Did you get your phone on the charger again?
I think so. Not the best, and that's an interesting twist to the evening. 23 minutes on the clock, 0-0. And somebody will have to pay the electricity bill before we can get back underway. Well, a good old-fashioned floodlight failure. We've not had one for a while. So the referee is looking for answers here. Well, never a dull moment unless the floodlights have turned off and I guess a lack of light. So it's a chance as well for the managers to pass on some instructions. What have you made of it so far, Kenny? 24 minutes on the clock.
Well, you would expect me to say this as an employee of the Scottish FA these days, but I think the new kit looks absolutely magnificent.
Company man.
Available nationwide now. I do think they've settled down. I think we talked about it. McBurney's a focal point. Morgan and Wright just trying to play on the last man and support them. I just think they look solid at the back. I think the four of them complement each other really well. Talk about Taylor and Smith, solid up and down all day. McKenna and Suter, sort of opposites attract as a pairing.
Well, let's take a look at some of the action so far. And this was McBurney's chance.
It's positive for McBurney.
Certainly, given he was just back on from injury, we can see it again here. And it's a lovely touch by Mallon. This is what he's got in his game.
I know Stevie Mallon's drawing confidence from coming away with the under-21s. He's not had the easiest start to his time in England, but he's got too much talent to sit on the bench down there for too long. I know Liam Lindsay, he was out of the team to start with at Barnsley. He's made a big impression now. And another promising centre-back, Scott McKenna here. He's been involved in the thick of it.
Well, if anybody is watching this on our YouTube channel and knows a good electrician in Perth, please put it in the comments section, and we might have to give him a phone call because the floodlights remain off and the game will not get back underway until the issue is sorted. The referee is down there looking to get things sorted out, but it's certainly an interesting twist of the evening, as I said. So
what are we going to talk about instead? You got much planned for the weekend?
I've actually got the weekend off, but there's the referee. The delegates out there as well. They want to know what's going on. That there is an issue. There is an argument you could say that it's not actually that bad, despite it being noticeable. But given that this is a UEFA competition, things have to be done correctly, and maybe the assistants on the far side might argue that they can't. There's sections of the pitch that are dimly lit, so it is an issue. But well, the referee is trying to take instruction. With some of the Latvians have made it to the game though as well, and
that's
they
dedication.
scratching their head about what is going on here.
Well, I can just about see photographer and social media sensation Craig Foy cutting about in the touchline with that dazzling smile of his. He could just go and stand in that corner and bare his teeth. We're back up to a full complement of lights.
Well, I work with Chris Boyd nowadays, and you know, you get what you pay for, so he could have turned up and smiled, and that might have helped.
No comment.
Anyway, yep, okay. No doubt Boyd will take that well. So Peter Grant out there, he's joined Scott Gemmell as well in this setup. And the two of them seem to work well together.
Yeah, they're a good mix. Peter Grant's got great experience not only in Scotland but in England, on and off the pitch, and he bounces off the players really well. His son joined us at the team hotel a couple of nights ago. I know he does compliment Scott well. Well,
as you can see there from the picture, the floodlights on the left hand side are the ones which are suspect, and the tannoy man now has to put the music on as well. So
just as well, the match programme is a right good read tonight. So
okay guys, over to you. What have you got? No rush, we can talk all night. Yeah, do you fancy climbing up to the top of those floodlights?
Absolutely not.
Oh dear. If it was...
We will get back to talking about that new kit now, won't we?
Well, if it was balls last night, it's floodlights tonight, what next?
Nah, just bad luck.
No, the referee's out there, he's talking to Ryan Fulton just now, and I think it's difficult for the players at this stage when they can cool down. They have to make sure they keep warmed up on a cold evening. And the referee from Denmark, Mr. Bouchard, is not sure about this one. So delay in proceedings.
Watching Alan Campbell, I think he's incapable of standing still for too long. Still buzzing about. Players all doing their best to keep warm. You mentioned Greg Taylor back at left back tonight. Maybe his more natural, accustomed position now. He's certainly done well for Kilmarnock recently in a new midfield berth. His forms coincided with the arrival of Steve Clarke as manager. I think Scotland are benefiting from a few players enjoying a fruitful spell with their clubs. It's rubbing off.
Well, I think we know what photos will appear in the newspapers tomorrow. So it's going to be a little delay for this one, and for Scotland they will want to, they were just starting to get chances and shots on goal as well, Kenny, and that might frustrate Scott Gemmell in some respects too.
Yeah, they built up a bit of momentum.
I think for me, the players, they want to keep this momentum going from the way they've started, Kenny, and you know, to play against the Netherlands and England first up, to get 3 points from the two games is a reasonable return given the strength of both nations. But it is a long campaign, the tournament taking place in Italy, and San Marino also hosting a couple of games as well in the tournament. It's been such a long time since Scotland got there back in the 1990s. As the lights are coming back on, happy days. You said it at the top there, it's going to be so important to make sure that Scotland want to be judged by success of both getting to tournaments and producing players. But it has been a very long time since Scotland have been there. Just to experience it at that level, how key will that be, do you feel, for a group? Because this will be difficult to qualify from this group.
It's been a tricky age group for Scotland in the last 10 years or so. I think a lot of that's to do with if a player in that age group shows much promise, they are generally fast-tracked into the A-team. We've seen that with Kieran Tierney, Ollie Burke, John McGinn in recent times, and the under-21 coach invariably suffers for it.
Well, it looks like we're about to have a game back on. Happy days. The lights are back on, and the 50 pence has gone into the meter. It'll be a good old-fashioned bounce ball, unfortunately not being contested, and we're back underway. Well, there was a break of nearly something of 8 or 9 minutes there, so we'll have lengthy time added on. That's very interesting. And the floodlights actually tripped out, and they needed the backup generator to start up. And I think it was Kenny Miller's hair dryer and curlers that were in, and that caused a bit of an issue. He's going out later on, so
the player or
the
player or the half-baked pundit?
No, the half-baked pundit.
Right. Okay.
The new company man. So
I'm no less of a cheerleader than I was before, in fairness. Glass is always half full when it comes to Scotland.
Absolutely, and so it should be. As Chernomord is the captain looking to go forward. Sorokins now. Uldrikis, the big forward man. Lovely ball through here. And Fulton was out quickly. Taylor. Just losing the battle there against Litvinskis. Malin up against Emsis, and he's given away the free kick. I think the player was looking for the contact and making sure he won that free kick.
Yep, a soft one for Stevie Malin. Having done well to close down the space.
Karklins. Sorokins. Forward looking for Uldrikis. Suter has it for Scotland. Taylor might be under pressure here. Back to Fulton. Forward it goes, looking for McBurney. He's up against Karklins. He wins the header, and Cadden helps him out. Wright has a lot to do to get it off Sorokins. He forces him to knock it out for a throw-in though. Campbell. Malin. Campbell again. Under pressure though. Finds Smith. Wright. The ball's just slipped out there. Slack from Scotland.
Yes, Scotty's put in a lot of unselfish graft for the team. I just hope he gets the chance to play in the front foot so we can see what he's all about with that turn of pace. Composed in the final third.
McKenna.
His Aberdeen teammate, a completely different type of player. Brute force.
Yeah, but he's been playing now as well. How important is that for him as Scotland go on the attack here? And it's McBurney. And just up against Uldrikis. But McBurney retains possession. Now Malin, shooting opportunity. It's bouncing and just wide.
And that's no bad thing for Scotland. It's the one thing they've maybe lacked so far is a few direct attempts on target. Just off that time. Worth a go. Only one thing in McKenna. Sorry. Scott McKenna on the brain. Stevie Malin's mind.
And Malin did score in the opening game. He scored the second against the Netherlands, and he was looking to add to his tally there.
Well, Malin's got a YouTube compilation, and that one would have slotted right in there, not far away.
Yeah, I remember that goal against Wraith Rovers, I think it was, for St Mirren. That was an absolute cracker. And he's, I think, Dundee as well the season previously. So some cracking goals.
Certainly a man in demand before Barnsley swooped, which makes you think when he gets his chance there, he'll take it.
I find that a bit tough, and it is a physical league, so sometimes you have to be up for that battle too.
Yeah, there's always an adaptation period when someone takes a new job. You have to bear with them if they make a few mistakes early on. Still talking about Stevie Malin.
Fulton. Now McKenna. Campbell. Taylor in support. Back to Fulton again. Liam Smith.
Smith did so well there to control a difficult ball.
Managed to get it away from Chiganix as well. Malin. McKenna. Taylor. And he wins a free kick.
Taylor always wants to keep the ball moving.
Given away though there by Morgan. He's another one that has been linked with moves away. As Emsis looking to put the ball in for Uldrikis. He just couldn't get the connection. It seemed to bounce up there. He was unable to get any control or steer it goalwards. And now Scotland going on the break. Mallon, Morgan giving chase. Cadden getting forward along with Wright. Morgan going into the box. He might decide to go himself. He decides to go to Scott Wright. Back to Mallon. Well blocked though by Chiganix. But Smith has possession for Scotland as he can keep the pressure on, and looking for McBurney over his head. And it goes out for a goal kick.
Two things from that move. Alan Campbell did so well to win the ball back. No coincidence, he's in the right place at the right time after time. And a good ball in from Smith. He was composed, waited for his moment, slung the ball into a dangerous area. McBurney not far away.
Oh, and a little kick out there as well by the captain, Chernomordis, on McBurney. Not very classy, but there we go. The bit of respect there between the two. And no doubt McBurney will look to get the better of him tonight. Campbell. Smith. Forced backwards to Fulton. Hamilton goalkeeper. Here's John Suter. Wright. Under pressure there from Sorokins, and he does so well. Morgan. Mallon inside, but Morgan going forward. Looking to get to the byline. Opportunity knocking for Scotland. The cutback pass Wright, past Cadden. And Latvia are able to pick up possession. Campbell battling there with Chrysatins. Now Stuglis.
But that's what you want from Morgan. You want him to isolate his man. Skip past and stretch those legs.
Cadden. Mallon. Well, Morgan starting to get into the swing of things now. Getting to the byline a couple of times. Getting down that left flank to get crossing opportunities. And he was well, Latvia have not really threatened too much going forward, but this was the opportunity earlier with the ball into the box. Rodriguez just not being able to get the connection there, but he's one that Scotland will have to watch.
And that was the interception from Campbell that kick-started a decent counter-attack for Scotland. Always seems to be there to mop up.
Mallon, Morgan, Taylor. Back to Lewis Morgan again. He's certainly been amongst the goals this season, Lewis Morgan, but not for the last 6 games or so. A drought he'll want to end. Chernomordis, the Karklins. Stuglis takes over. Lovely ball looking for Emsis. Ball into the area. Campbell can't quite control. McKenna helps out. Scott Wright under that. McBurney. Stuglis though fires it forward. Campbell's touch falls to Suter. Cadden. Smith. Down the line for Cadden to chase. Karklins has to try and usher this out, which he does.
I say this once in every single game of professional football. It does my head in when you're allowed to run the ball out of play in a corner like that. Foul anywhere else on the pitch. I've said it now, so that's out of the way. Once again.
Pet hate, I think it's called.
Point made.
Yeah. Chris Karklins did his job there.
It's higher up my list than McBurney's socks, but annoying nonetheless.
Well, 4 minutes of regulation time to go before the break, but given the lengthy delay due to the floodlights, we will have certainly a lot of added on time at the end of this first half.
Just keep playing, just play through. Make up for lost time.
Opportunity for Scotland, it's McBurney! Zommers with the parry and cleared for a corner.
That's what we talked about earlier on. For someone of his size, McBurney has great agility, 2 quick feet. He can go left, he can go right. Another shot on target, he'll be disappointed straight at the keeper, but he's inching ever closer.
And Ollie McBurney testing Zommers there. Could only push it back out, but the defender was there to clear. Mallon's corner, looking for McBurney. McKenna was there as well. Head knock and the referee is bringing out a yellow card for Scott McKenna, and the Latvian player is down. I think he was going for the ball. I don't think there was any malice in it to merit a booking.
You'd have to be pretty tough to willingly stick your head on someone else twice.
That's our friend Stuglis down again. Hairband's okay though, so that's the most important thing. Don't worry about it. So
I think he's got a split end.
It'll be a free kick to Latvia then. Zommers, who has had to make a couple of saves, but saves you probably expect him to make in this first half. But Scotland will want to test him more throughout the evening here at McDiarmid Park in Perth.
And Scotland do have options in the bench if it drags on at 0-0. I think Scotland will want to give them maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes in the second half.
Scotland win the free kick. There was a little kick out there on Scott McKenna. So the referee from Denmark, Chris Satins there, the man giving away the free kick. Suter to take the free kick, the Scotland captain, Heart of Midlothian defender. You would like to think that he will get a good run of games now that he's over the injury issues that he's had.
He works so hard at his game. I don't know how many people know this, but he sees a Thai therapist in his spare time to work on his flexibility and his recovery. Anything he can do to improve his game, John Suter invariably does.
We're looking forward to going back to Tynecastle as well. It'll be a fantastic stadium once it's ready, and the atmosphere will be great as well. Morgan with the cross, decent cross, nobody there though. Picked up by Smith. Suter, McKenna. Again, it's Morgan down the left that was causing the problems. McKenna again.
Morgan has that great change of pace. Aren't many like it. You just have to get him in the right areas to exploit it.
And he's one that, speaking to people that played with him, that he's managed to bulk up as well. Chernomortis there with a crucial intervention. Scott Wright was in behind otherwise. Emsis looking to get away from Smith.
That man Smith again.
Task. Mallon. McKenna. Taylor. Morgan out there, not the best of balls by Greg Taylor. Throw into Latvia. But Lewis Morgan, we're saying, he's a man that is bulked up. When he was injured a couple of years ago, he was in the gym. He was making sure that he was working on his core and his physical strength, and that is so key in football nowadays.
There's a lot for St Mirren to be proud of. I think when you look at John McGinn last night, I think that's his second man of the match from 2 starts. Tonight you've got Lewis Morgan, you've got Stevie Mallon, you've got Kyle McGuinness back in the squad. Certainly they're doing something right at St Mirren.
That's it. I think if you're a St Mirren fan, you probably want to get more of the benefit from those youngsters. Morgan, McGuinness have been playing recently. Mallon in the last season made sure they were safe from the drop. McBurney battling there. It's Sorokins looking for Emsis. Down for Sorokins again. Up against Wright, looking to go to the byline. Sorokins, and doing well. Wright sticking to the task. He did enough, and Suter wins a free kick after Rodriguez was overly physical.
The most obvious foul you will see all night.
Another one of the hairband crew.
But it is great to see John Suter back. The Achilles injury he suffered at Celtic Park was horrific. His leg really did waste away. There's not much you can do with that kind of injury. Wait it out, then go through the painful, long, boring, isolated rehab work.
Yeah, I was at that game, and after the game he kind of knew he was in trouble. It was going to be a lengthy-ish layoff. Speaking to him in the tunnel that day. Well, we've reached the 45-minute mark, but there'll be certainly a lot of added on time given the stoppage. Smith, McBurney turning away from Carklands there.
Yeah, sharp turn from
Cynical.
McBurney. Light on his feet.
So set piece opportunity for Scotland then. Mallon and Morgan over this one. Cadden making the late run into the box. Goes into the middle looking for McKenna. Cadden's there, the goalkeeper, with a punch clear. Scotland looking to keep the pressure on. Morgan. McKenna. McBurney is not close enough to it.
Maybe haven't tested the goalkeeper enough with deliveries into dangerous areas. You can see here, not overly comfortable. Keen to punch. Bit like yourself at fives.
No, I would have gathered that with two hands, no problem. There's an injury here. Looks like a head knock from one of the Latvians.
Been a
He's
few
down.
of those.
Yeah.
This first half will never ever end.
Yeah. Never ending story.
That's why I said just play through. Had that once in a Sunday League game where a referee turned up and told us he had to leave early for a family do in Arbroath. First half was 34 minutes long. Manager complained at half time and the second half was 57 minutes long.
Complain to the SFA, you're in position now, you can sort it out.
Tales from Edinburgh Sunday League. There's got to be a book in that if anyone's interested.
Trying to get another deal here, a wee sideline. Smith looking to blast it forward. Right, it's kind of difficult one to control. And it was Chris Satins who was stripped there, and a bit of afters. The referee wanting a word with Chris Satins, who's pointing at Liam Smith, blaming him. The referee just trying to take the sting out of this one.
Oh, Chris Satins with a sneaky wee elbow there on Liam Smith. Can't really play the hard man when you're wearing gloves. I'm getting to that age now where I'm just making these old man observations.
Yeah, very
It's
cynical.
tragic.
Very cynical. Carklands blasted long. Uldrikis can't win it against McKenna though. Here he is. Emphasis. Scotland have it back through Taylor. Fulton can clear. McBurney trying to win that one. Wright gets it down to Cadden. Support through Smith up against Sorokins. He'll accept the throw. Cadden. Only had 3 for company. Has to settle for the throw. We're into this lengthy stoppage time due to the earlier issue with the floodlights.
And it's anyone's guess how long's left.
Morgan couldn't get the better of Lindvinskis. And Latvia looking to go on an attack at the end of this first half. Smith up against Chrysatins again. As the ball comes in, it's a decent one. Uldrikis off the bar, and the follow-up, and it's in. It was Emphasis with the original effort, and Uldrikis has scored at the end of this first half for Latvia.
And it's a sore one for Scotland. It seemed to go in slow motion. The ball took an age to bounce down off the bar. Self-inflicted. Smith couldn't quite clear his lines. Dangerous delivery in.
It was a great ball in by Chiganis. Emphasis header.
I think you give credit to the goal scorer there. There's not many people out jump Scott McKenna.
And look at this ball in here from Chiganis. Emphasis header. Fulton made a gallant effort to keep it out, but Uldrikis in the right position to nod home from close range, and it is Latvia who are 1-0 up. He's the only man to score for Latvia in this qualifying campaign so far. He got a goal against Ukraine in a 1-1 draw, and so far that was their only goal in 5 games.
I thought
until this evening.
I thought Fulton had just done enough to claw that out. Got his feet moving quickly. Just a half second too slow.
Well, it's their only attempt on target of this first half, and it is Latvia who lead, and Scotland have a bit of work to do now.
Yeah, plenty of time to turn the tide, but they will have to up the ante. Falling out of it slightly again. Need to get Morgan back on the ball.
And here he is. Forward for McBurney to give chase against Chernomordis, the captain, holding him off, and the foul goes against McBurney. He's not happy about it. Referee telling him to calm down.
You can tell a lot by a player's reaction.
So Scotland behind here at McDiarmid Park, and it's not something they planned for. Certainly in the balance of this first half, Kenny, it was against the run of play, no doubt about that.
It was, but you have to say it, Latvia stuck to their task. It was a good ball in, and they won 2 headers in a row and capitalised.
Shooter.
All to do for Scotland now. But
Smith.
More than capable of scoring the 2 goals it takes.
Shooter again. Taylor. McKenna. Shooter. Taylor. Chernomordis puts him more up than out as the half-time whistle sounds from the referee from Denmark. It's been a longer than normal first half due to a delay with the floodlights, and it is Scotland trailing at half-time thanks to that goal from that man there, Roberts Uldrikis, who has scored for Latvia in stoppage time in the first half. It was a great cross in by Chiganis, and when you look at it here, working from right to left, Prusatins forcing Smith to make the clearance. Chiganis with the cross, Empsis's header, and out jumping McKenna was Roberts Uldrikis, and that is why at half time it is Latvia who lead. Kenny, your thoughts on that first half?
Listen, it's a team game, and certainly a team goal that they conceded because there were a few opportunities there to clear the ball. I think Smith gives it away initially. McKenna loses the decisive header. Maybe Fulton will be frustrated he didn't quite manage to get to the ball. So they conceded as a team, they'll need to turn it around as a team.
Uldrikis is a big unit, and he's somebody that can cause problems. This cross is a fantastic ball in, and Fulton trying to claw it out there, but Uldrikis out-jumped McKenna at close quarters, and at half-time it is Scotland 0, Latvia 0. Well, Scott Gemmell will be in the dressing room, and he will be giving his team talk, trying to turn this one around. He has been in charge for a year of the Scotland Under 21s, and he's been reflecting on his year in charge for the Scottish FA website.
Scott, how can you sum up your first year in charge of the Scotland Under 21s?
I have to really bring to everyone's attention that we tried to play the younger players to give them as much preparation as possible working towards the next campaign. So that was a big ask for the players to go in and play at that level. The 2 games we played were the 2 teams at the top of the group, Iceland and Macedonia. Macedonia went to the finals. So it was really 2 tough games. The game away to Macedonia was a really big crowd, and they needed to win to qualify for the first time in their history. So it was a real big test for our players, but at the same time great development. It was a real conscious decision to give our young players that experience.
How happy are you that decision to play the younger players has paid off and is now paying dividends for the 21s?
Yeah, that was obviously always the aim, to give the players that experience, working towards the new games, the new campaign. It's not about me. I say that all the time. It's about what's doing the best for the players, and we felt giving them that experience and allowing them to play a little bit ahead of schedule has really given them that extra experience so that they could hit the ground running in the new campaign, and we got the rewards with that, with a really strong performance against Holland.
Yeah, tell me a bit about that performance against the Netherlands. It really was a show-stopping performance that night.
It was a really high-level performance from the players. I think they deserve a lot of credit, being able to really show that they were tactically clever enough to execute the game plan, really play with that purpose and passion that the supporters expect every time the Scotland team plays, regardless of the age level. But to go and play against the team from pot 2 in the first game and play with a real intensity was the objective, and everybody deserves a lot of credit for them to go and execute the game plan against a really top team.
You also led an under-20 side over in Toulon, and you beat Brazil. How much did that instill belief in yourself and the squad of players to ultimately go and deliver for the 21s on perhaps a grander stage?
I think the Toulon tournament was something that I really pushed for to be involved in. I think it's great experience for the players to go and play in that tournament, play teams from outside Europe. We knew we would hopefully play against teams from outside Europe before the draw got made. We ended up playing against Brazil, Czech Republic and Indonesia. Real different challenges. Obviously everybody would have expected us to beat Indonesia, but there's always that element of having to go and beat what's in front of you, and it's not easy at that level. So the players got a lot of credit for the performances. We managed to finish 3rd in the tournament overall. I think the experience of going and being back involved at a really high level, because I don't think Scotland have played in Toulon for, I think it was 20 years. It was a really good decision, and really thankful to the Scottish FA really to send the team down there for that experience.
Well, Scott Gemmell talking there, reflecting on his first year in charge. The second part of that interview we will hear at half-time in the Ukraine game here on Tuesday. Again, you can watch it live via our YouTube channel. Kenny, your thoughts on the year in charge for Scott Gemmell and your reflections on how it's been, really.
I've said this a couple of times. I think to Scott Gemmell's credit, and he didn't have to do this, he identified very early on the need to blood younger players, so he moved on a few of the players about halfway through the campaign that would have been too old for the next one, and he took a few heavy defeats, a few tricky results as a consequence. But he was always building for the long term. If he had been selfish, if he'd been worried about his own short-term reputation, he would have stuck with the tried and tested. But I think he has to be admired for looking at the bigger picture. It's one thing Scott always says, that it's not his team, it's Scotland's team, and they always come first. So I think you can see clear signs of progress. The team has settled down. He'll be disappointed with the way it's unfolded so far tonight, but plenty of time to turn that round. And I think when you look back over the piece, there's been a few notable scalps between Brazil and the Netherlands, to name 2.
Well, disappointing so far for Scotland, 1-0 down to Latvia, but for the Scotland under-17s, they are into elite qualifying for the 5th time in a row. And in terms of the qualifying round in Estonia, we're going to have a recap on the goals that led them into the elite qualifying round. Kenny, it looks good, doesn't it?
I think it looks outstanding. It's the best Scotland strip produced since the last one.
Yeah,
and everyone should go out and buy it.
It does look good. There's no doubt about that. This first half, Scotland 1 down, probably going in at 0-0 might have been the right scoreline, but when you look at some of the chances in the first half, Scotland have threatened the goalkeeper. Yeah, probably comfortable so far, but Scotland have players that they might be able to bring on, like Ryan Hardy if needs be, and there he is. That is something. Do you think he will make changes, or do you think it's a case of go out there and the guys, they were starting to go forward? It was against the run of play that Latvia scored.
I think the guys will get 10-15 minutes to prove themselves. If there's no obvious signs of improvement, then someone like Ryan Hardy's definitely an option. Different type of player, likes to run in behind, he's composed in front of goal. He's definitely an option.
Well, let's have a look at some of the chances in the first half, and this one early on, and it was Stevie Mallon with the attempt. McBurney working here, and Mallon's always happy to have a drive.
That was definitely in Stevie Mallon range, the type of strike we've seen him unleash so often.
Yeah, and he's not scared to do that. And we mentioned some of his key goals he scored for St Mirren in his career. Scored against the Dutch. That one, the keeper just making sure, but he had that one well covered in the end.
A good set-up play from McBurney. Strong, and McBurney again here. Just again showing his balance, his skill on the ball. He's come close a couple of times, Oliver McBurney. Hopefully third time lucky.
Yeah, he can link up well with Mallon as well. He had a chance that was blocked also, but Zommers there making the save. But the key moment of the first half was the only goal so far. Liam Smith could only clear as far as Chiganis. Great cross, and Emphasis getting up well, but it was the main man, Uldrikis, for Latvia scoring. And will Scotland be disappointed with the defending, or do you just credit the cross and say it was Johnny on the spot from Uldrikis to make sure he was in the right place?
No, I think coming so late in the half, and as I say, they are so meticulously well organised at the back. I think Scott Game will definitely find fault in 2 or 3 aspects of that goal. As I said, Liam Smith could have cleared it in the first instance. Maybe he just lost his footing ever so slightly. Scott McKenna beaten in the air. Although it has to be said, striker always has a run and jump on a standing defender. It's always that bit more difficult.
Yeah, Fulton so close to clawing that one out as well. Looking at the bench, Kenny, I think John Roddy, the goalkeeper, we've got Ryan Hardy, Ryan Williamson, Dominic Thomas, Greg Docherty, Theo Archibald, Ross McCrory. There are options there. There are players in there that have been getting games for their club team. Ross McCrory, a man, but it's more going forward that Scotland might need something. And Ryan Hardy, he has been involved in the last couple of games for Rangers coming off the bench. Is that somebody that Scott Gemmell might think about introducing at some point?
He's one that Scott's been very positive about, going right back to the under-17s. Ryan Hardy's been a constant presence in these squads. When you go through the bench, Ryan Williamson and Ross McCrory have been introduced in games to solidify things. So unless there's a tweak in formation, maybe not one for them yet. Greg Docherty again, a bit of muscle. Maybe add his engine in the middle of the park. Theo Archibald brings a bit of invention. He's someone who's had some decent first team exposure this season at Brentford. Dom Thomas is someone that Scott Gemmell clearly has a lot of faith in. He's a bit of a maverick. He offers something different, so might be looking at Dom Thomas.
Well, he has started every game up until now, Dom Thomas, and he is certainly somebody that can do something. But looking at the players out there, and Lewis Morgan, 17 games this season for St Mirren, 8 goals as well. Not scored in the last month or so, but he is certainly one that everyone has been looking at. Theo Archibald there down at Brentford, only 3 games so far for Brentford down there in West London.
To be fair, Archibald, he was signed as a B-team player. He was very much viewed as a long-term first-team project, but made such a good impression on them that he's been involved in the first team ahead of schedule. He's been there or thereabouts. Might be someone that Scott Gemmell turns to as the second half wears on.
Ryan Williamson there as well. He's been playing for Dunfermline. Well, the Scotland team are out, and there is Oliver McBurney, who has had a couple of chances for Scotland so far, and he seemed to have recovered from that foot injury he picked up early in the first half. I think he's nursing a facial injury there, or a bloody nose, so he was some repair work. Campbell will be playing for Motherwell in a League Cup final, he hopes, later in the month at Hampden Park against Celtic. And the Latvians will be happy with their work in the end in the first half. They are ahead, and they will be looking for their first win of the campaign. From their previous 5, they managed to get 2 draws in the opening 2 games, and then they lost the next 3 to England, Netherlands and Scotland. But they could get instant revenge for that 2-0 defeat over in Latvia in the last game by winning here in Perth. This is a double header for Scotland. It's Latvia this evening, it's Ukraine in Perth on Tuesday, and that is a match you can see live on the YouTube channel of the Scottish FA. Scotland to kick off this second half, looking to get back into the match after that late first half goal by Roberts, Uldrikis and Greg Taylor in possession for Scotland. Suter. Here's Liam Smith. Long ball forward looking for Scott Wright. He does well to give himself a chance here. And Scotland pick up Cadden. McBurney looking to go in there. Well, it's a bit of a toe poke in the end by McBurney. Relatively comfortable for Zommers.
Early statement of intent though from Scotland. Chris Cadden alert. Ollie McBurney lucky with the break, just got a toe on it.
He did well to get any sort of attempt away in the end, given the touch was difficult. McKenna booked in that first half. Taylor back to McKenna. Cross to Suter. Cadden. Right. Looking for Cadden again. Good defending though by Sorokins, but Cadden can pick up, and that looks a corner kick for Scotland. An opportunity, a set piece opportunity early on in this second half. Well, Sorokins did well initially, but Cadden stuck to the task, and it will be Stevie Mallon to take this one as Zommers organises his defence. Mallon's delivery over McKenna's head. Stuglis knocks it up and out. Morgan trying to get it back into the danger zone. Smith wins it, plays it to Taylor. Furthest man back apart from Fulton. Here is the aforementioned goalkeeper. Campbell. Suter. Morgan. He might win his own flick on there, and does. Short to Mallon. Now Wright, shooting opportunity. And just over the bar by Scott Wright. A good chance there for Scotland. Mallon providing Scott Wright with possession.
It's always good to see Morgan, Mallon and Wright linking up, operating just behind McBurney. And I do think that Wright's looked threatening whenever he's drifted in centrally. Hopefully it's something he can exploit through the second half.
Be looking to pose a threat throughout this second half.
Scotland have definitely upped the intensity, as you'd expect. They've got a point to prove, 3 points to win.
Suter. McKenna. Taylor. Back to McKenna again.
Scotland definitely moving the ball quick up. Patient in the first half. Something to chase now.
McBurney. Fouled. Free kick to Scotland. And Chris Satins again, trying to noise up the Scotland players.
McBurney uses his body so well. You would expect that from a veteran in that position.
Morgan. right. Taylor. Morgan again. All the way to the back. Can Smith keep it in? No, he can't. And it had just gone out there for a goal kick. Liam Smith happy to get forward though, as is Taylor on the other side.
These breaks in play will be frustrating for Scotland when they build up some sort of momentum, get things going again.
You can imagine if the score stays the same, the Latvians will really try to take the sting out of it. Now Smith. Cadden. He was fouled, he was taken late there, and the referee looks as if he's going to book the Latvian defender there. It was Sorokins in late, and I think that's definitely worth a booking.
Yeah, no doubt about that. But interesting, we talked about Wright drifting in centrally, but Scott Gemmell does seem to have tweaked things at the start of the second half. Wright does seem to be taking up a central position. McBurney's dropping deeper. Cadden's moved out wide to the right. He's somebody who takes the tactical side of the game very seriously, Scott Gemmell. Obviously not delayed in making changes.
Free kick to Scotland. Mallon to take into the area. The target was Suter. Away by Vinskis. Taylor has it back. Now Scott Wright, the young Aberdeen player. Oh, lovely flick by McBurney and a great save by Zommers. The ball in was decent. The attempt was ambitious but very creative, and it was a good save.
If there's any justice tonight, then McBurney gets the goal. Positive again from Wright. Good delivery. Instinctive flick from McBurney. Keeper equal to it.
Scotland have to settle for the corner kick. Mallon with the delivery. Easy for the goalkeeper, although they tried to make hard work of it.
I'll say this for Latvia. It said in the first half they've done well to double up on most occasions with Scotland's wingers. I think they've marshalled Suter and McKenna really well at set pieces. They've got bodies in and around them. Really stopped them having a run and jump.
If you look at that Netherlands game in which McKenna and Suter really caused problems at the set pieces, probably should have scored a goal.
Dominated,
each.
yeah.
So they've obviously done their homework there. Chris Sattins, who's been the pantomime villain there.
It's the problem with these YouTube streams, they should be taken down so the other countries can't do their homework. It's your fault.
Or nobody has to endure this commentary again.
That's a point. Valid point.
Mallon, right in support, but Mallon crowded out, gets a shot away, just wide, and it's deflected. It's a corner kick for Scotland.
I think Scotland have probably had as many shots in the second half, as many attempts on goals they had in the whole first half, which is encouraging. Just need to see that keeper worked a bit more.
Well, there was Mallon, scored against the Dutch, and looking more and more dangerous this evening now. Taylor's corner, not his best, cleared by Carklands. Smith to flight it back into the back post. Suter gets up, and Scotland will have to settle for another corner kick. Well, Suter managed to get free at the back, and this time he got it across the face of goal, but it was cleared. But he will be looking to pose some danger along with McKenna there. Mallon's delivery. Suter gets up, gets a second bite. Latvia get it clear in the end.
Yeah, centre back's just trying to stagger their run into the box that time, and it had a bit of an impact.
Smith into the box, Zommers up, he was challenged there, no foul said the referee. The goalkeeper made a meal of it. McKenna trying to get the shot away, McBurney also trying to get in there. Latvia do very well to get bodies in the way, but Scotland keeping the pressure on. Morgan inside to Mallon, his sort of range, and it spins wide and high in the end.
I know we're hopelessly one-sided, but I did think that was a foul on the keeper from McBurney.
Well, goalkeepers get too much protection unless you're playing against me, and then I will claim for everything. But here we go, and I think for me, it was a good ball in that asked the goalkeeper questions. Do you feel McBurney not challenging for it there? Do you feel it was a free kick, Kenny?
No, I take it back. I'm talking rubbish. Wasn't too bad.
Yeah, he didn't jump, so maybe he had a point initially.
And McBurney had a wee glance over his left shoulder, had the arm out.
Well, Zommers made that good save from McBurney a couple of minutes ago, and as much as at times he could be more convincing, he has done enough. And now it's Latvia, their first real attack of this second half. Emsis, who helped set up the goal, unable to get the better of the Scottish defence there, and Scotland have the free kick.
That man Campbell again, I keep saying it's no coincidence that he pops up in the right place at the right time to cover for teammates.
Morgan winning the free kick, and Scotland take it. Suter out to Smith. Scott Wright looking to make the run. McBurney now collects. Under pressure though, Chris Satins.
It's a difficult one for McBurney because he is getting more of the ball dropping deep, but it keeps him away from goal. And with those quick feet, you want him in and around the box.
A slack there by Latvia. Morgan can collect. Good cross, maybe just too close to the goalkeeper. And Zommers takes it well.
Scotland have had plenty of the ball, plenty of territory in the Latvian possession.
The ball safely in Zommers' hands. And it was Uldricus winning it against McKenna there. Chernomordis, the captain, back to Zommers. And if the scoreline stays the same, we're going to have a word with that electrician to get the floodlights off.
It's not a bad shout.
Forward from Zommers.
We didn't have
McKenna
the 20 minute stoppage time in the first half. We wouldn't have conceded that goal.
Yeah, exactly. Cadden now posing a threat on the right hand side, looking to get to the byline, and the assistant referee on the far side flagged to award the free kick. Cadden, he knew what he was doing, a nudge in the back, but the Latvian knowing exactly what he was doing, going down to win the free kick just to make sure the referee knew it was Carklands there. That was a push in the back.
Or a nudge from a stronger player. Depends on your bias. Too strong for his own good, Chris Cadden.
Good leap by Suter, and he wins the free kick. Well, up against Uldricus, the goal scorer, and
sore one for Suter
there. Yep. Seems to be struggling a bit. Just taking his time.
You don't want to lose John Suter, but Scotland well covered in that position.
What do you think Scott Gemma will be thinking of now?
I think it's tricky. Like, he does have options to mix it up. I mentioned that Dom Thomas is a maverick. I wonder if someone like Stevie Mallon, who hasn't played much football, maybe an option to change the two of them around. Ryan Hardy, we know what he gives you up front. He can go in behind, and as Roseri is composed in front of goal. Theo Archibald likes to cut in from out wide, offers a goal threat. I've seen Ross McCrory deployed in various positions for Scotland: centre back, right back, holding midfield. One of these boys, you could send him on anywhere and he'd do a job for you. So he does have options. Do maybe miss the blistering pace of an Ollie Burke, but
Ross McCrory there. If Suter, well, he's not got back up yet, and McCrory is certainly made for coming in there. He's been impressive recently, Kenny, playing for Rangers, played in the Old Firm game, played in a League Cup semi. Would be disappointed with that, but scoring in the game against Partick Thistle, a man from Ayrshire, from Daly, the town of Daly in Ayrshire, and his brother also in the squad as well, not on the bench today, Robbie McCrory, but John Suter back on his feet, going off, and you never know, there may be a concussion issue, I don't know. They don't take any risks any longer, but the physios they are checking, and
Alan Campbell just dropping deep to fill in for Suter while he's off. But no, you mentioned the McCrorys, great story. I know, like myself, you've followed them through the youth ranks. Robbie's doing well. He's on loan at Berwick Rangers just now from Rangers to pick up experience, winning a clutch of Man of the Match awards. And Ross, what can you say about him? Really grabbed his chance at Rangers.
Yeah, and he got his first goal for the club against Partick Thistle. Played at Murrayfield as well in the win against Heart of Midlothian. As O'Drickus looking to go on the run, and it was a good challenge here by Campbell, who is back in there. And Suter, I think, wants back on, and he has got the signal from the referee, so he's back on. He just took his time there. Maybe that was the right thing, just when you're down with a head knock. Here's Mallon. Now Smith. Scotland looking to get some momentum going again. Cadden down for Smith again. Crossing opportunity. What's the cross like? It's decent. And just over the head of Wright. Unlucky there. Maybe wanted McBurney on the end of that one.
Yeah, just aiming for the wrong player.
Chiganics. Back to Litvinskis. Now Chernomordis. Across to Karklins. Picked up by Sorokins. And Smith stayed forward here just now. Latvia happy to go with the patient build-up. Chernomordis, the captain. Into Stuglis. The target is Chiganics. And Litvinskis couldn't keep it in.
Just to reassure any concerned Hearts supporters who maybe don't have much depth in the defensive backline, John Suter seems to be okay.
Well, Christoph Berra played the first half last night for Scotland before being replaced by Charlie Mulgrew. And John Suter playing this evening. And Taylor. Morgan, lovely play by Lewis Morgan, and Scotland going forward here, a real chance. McBurney looking to get into the box. Morgan going himself so far, looking to get to the byline. Can he keep it in? The answer is yes, but the cross finally picked up by Wright. Crowded out. Campbell can help out. Taylor now. A bit of afters there, and Scotland get the free kick. It was Chiganics who caught Scott Wright late. The referee not going to his pocket, but he certainly saw that to give Scotland the free kick. And there's even more afters here with Wright on the ground.
Well, Scott Wright's just been kicked in the face. I don't know if he meant it, but certainly a sore one.
Now the number 8, Chiganics, causing all the trouble there.
And that is ugly. Yep, no doubt about that.
Well, not only did he concede the free kick, he was wanting to argue the issue, and John Suter has gone over there as the Scotland captain. I know there was a flare-up as well, and Chiganics not happy, so John Suter being sent away. Ollie McBurney also not happy. The referee from Denmark having to try and keep a bit of order and calm things down.
McBurney incensed.
And McBurney given a yellow card. So to Chiganics. And I don't know if it was a bit of dissent there by McBurney, but there was certainly a flare-up afterwards involving a couple of Scotland players, McBurney and Suter. But it was Chiganics cause of the problem there. He caught Scott Wright late on the ground, and the referee having a word with Scott Wright here. So it's something that the referee has had to sort out, but ultimately Scotland have a great opportunity with a set piece, probably the first this evening from this sort of range.
And it's in that man's range.
Certainly is. And the referee will have to get the Latvians back 10 yards. But he is a threat, Stevie Mallon.
Ollie McBurney doing his best to put off the keeper. Keeper will maybe get distracted by his socks, or the hanky stuffed up his nose.
Can Scotland equalise with this set piece opportunity? It's Mallon, and it's just over the bar.
Top of the net.
Yep, the top of the net, not the back of the net. And it was a chance, Kenny.
Yeah, it was a chance. Perfect range for Stevie Mallon. There was only one man who was going to hit this, but from the moment he hit it, you thought it was just a bit too high. So it proved.
Enough to get it up, but not to get it down in enough time.
But Scotland players incensed with that challenge on right. Maybe that sense of injustice will spark a comeback, you have to hope.
McKenna keeping an eye on that in the air, doing well. And the offside flag is up. It was Chris Satins coming back from an offside position as Scotland look to make a change. And Ryan Hardy will replace Liam Smith. What's the thinking there?
Well, it's an interesting reshuffle. I'd love to tell you what the thinking is there. I need to work it out first. It's the reason why I'm up here.
Chucked you in the under the bus there. So Scotland
looks like a back three,
throwing on another defender and another attacker rather. And here's Hardy with his first touch. Good save by the goalkeeper and cleared. But Scotland showing their sign of intent by throwing on another striker, and it almost paid off there.
How's that for an instant impact from Ryan Hardy?
Taylor just can't quite find Morgan there, looking to win it back though from Litvinskis. Chris Satins getting the break of the ball. Uldricks. And now Chiganix, who caused a bit of controversy earlier. The kick out on Scott Wright.
Well, the team's settled down now. Cadden is pushed out wide right into the area we used to see him in for Motherwell. So they really are doing their best now to advance Taylor and Cadden in wing back areas.
Morgan giving chase. Jenna Mordis the captain, and Scotland winning the corner kick. Jenna Mordis not happy with the referee. Morgan didn't give up on that. Did it hit off the defender? But let's see this Ryan Hardy chance, Kenny. An instant impact almost.
Listen, Ryan Hardy's a goal scorer. At the very least, work the keeper. That's what he did.
Running in behind. Mallon with the corner kick. McKenna going up, right looking for the volley. It's blocked. Keeps possession though. Morgan's ball in, not the best. It deflects to the back post.
Clumsy.
And
well, I thought that was clumsy, but McBurney picking himself up.
Well, it could have been a penalty then. And another
that's wild.
And the referee is going in here quickly to restore order. It's a red card. It's a red
card. No wonder.
From the referee showing that to Stuglis, the number 7. And it was a rash challenge. And Latvia down to 10 men straight up the tunnel. Stuglis. And that was something that the referee right away was on the spot. A good angle for him. He was close quarters, as you can see.
Cadden absolutely furious, and no wonder. Outrageous tackle.
And the referee, he had a great view of that, and it was good refereeing because he right away in there was no doubt about it. But what does that do now? Given Scotland have put on an extra striker, Kenny, that really it means they can afford to get more bodies forward, I take it.
Well, now's the time to go for broke. See if they can make the most of that advantage.
And don't forget, you were calling for a penalty moments ago as well. It seemed to be an elbow across Ollie McBurney in the box.
I think that was more in hope than expectation. But as you say, I think the referee did well there to step in between Cadden.
Well, you could see on the replay how close the referee was. But Ollie McBurney, the referee warning him there, a bit of jiggery pokery in there.
McBurney on a booking just needs to keep his cool. We can't have this levelled off at 10 apiece.
Well, Scotland a man up but a goal down, looking to try and get back on level terms. The free kick straight in the arms of Sommer, and that is a real waste there, really, for Scotland. Litvinskis down this right hand side. Chiganix, who there was an argument he might have saw red himself for a kick out on Scott Wright. Here's Mallon. Right. The cross in, looking for McBurney. Good defending though. And it's cleared. Jurakovics getting it away. And Scotland have the throw. Well, Scotland looking to make another change in a minute. I think it might be Ross McCrory who's coming on. Well, John Suter is going off, and Ross McCrory coming on. Can only think there was an issue from earlier on when he was down with that head knock. So
John straight up the tunnel.
Ross McCrory certainly an able deputy.
Yeah, like John Suter, Ross McCrory, somebody that can play out from the back. Hopefully keep Scotland up the pitch.
Morgan, reverse ball for Taylor. Chance to get a cross in, it's low. Just runs past Ryan Hardy. And McBurney will collect possession. Back to McCrory for his first touch. Here, Stevie Mallon. Right. Cadden. Taking on Sorokins. The cross comes in. It's a cross come shot. And the goalkeeper, Zomers, has to tip it away. Scotland have the throw. Well, Zomers, I think, was expecting a cross. In the end, it turned out to be a shot. But Scotland now looking to turn the screw and get back on level terms. Campbell. Every Latvian player behind the ball here. Morgan. Mallon. Cadden. Back to Mallon again. Whips the ball in. Past McBurney. Taylor though. Morgan. Mallon. Cadden. Scotland moving the ball about from side to side, but the Latvians doing enough to keep them at bay so far. Right's turn. Sorokins can clear. McCrory collects possession. Got 20 minutes to play. Can Scotland get back into this match? We're live on the YouTube channel, and it is Latvia who lead. But Campbell for McBurney. Falls to Hardy. Best chance of the second half so far, and he goes for an attempt again, just past the post. Ryan Hardy. It was a turning shot, and Kenny again. Ryan Hardy looking to try and get on the score sheet here.
Well, he's in the thick of it, and you might as well have a go, but the concern is that time's ticking. You really need to make one of these count.
Well, Latvia making a substitution, and it is Leipa coming on, and he will replace Chris Satins, who was involved in a heated exchange in the first half. He's taking his time to go off. There's Kristapis Leipa coming on for Latvia with 19 minutes to play. But Ryan Hardy's certainly had a couple of chances since coming on in this second half, Kenny, and no doubt that's given him the taste for more.
He was the obvious option on the bench. Seen him on plenty of occasions come on and make the difference. Could do with it again.
Right, finds Cadden. Mallon. Switch of play looking for Morgan here. Good defending by Litvinskis with the header. Scotland have to try and build again. Campbell. Mallon. Oh, short for McBurney there, but Mallon wins it back. McKenna now to McCrory. Here is Cadden. Down looking for McBurney, who's gone out to the wider area here. Cadden just can't get past Emsis. Campbell, the other Motherwell man. Taylor. Greg Taylor bursting forward. Morgan in support, and it'll be a throw into Scotland.
Certainly no lack of will in the second half. Plenty of possession, but just haven't been able to make it count.
I think Scotland getting slightly frustrated now. They've got to be patient here. Mallon out to Cadden. Lovely ball. Great touch too. Support from right. It's a high one. Hardy's there, and it hits off Litvinskis. Corner kick for Scotland. Ryan Hardy made a bit of an impact since coming on. Two great chances. Good save from Zomers, and one just wide. As I said, he's been involved for Rangers recently, coming off the bench against Partick Thistle and Hearts. Short corner, Taylor. Right into the box. McBurney knocks it up. McKenna's still there. Could it fall for McCrory? It can't. And there's a foul there. Latvia have the free kick. McCrory in and about there. And it's just not falling for Scotland in the key areas at the minute, Kenny.
Again, I think you have to give Latvia credit for that. For all we're focused on Scotland, Latvia have been dogged, especially now that they're down to 10 men. Showing a lot of defensive discipline. Scotland really are going for broke. Flooding bodies forward.
Campbell. Support on the far side through his Motherwell teammate Cadden. And that's where it goes. Low cross. Cadden can't get a second chance. Mallon though. 1-2 with Wright. Now Hardy. Wright again. Campbell. Here's Cadden. Mallon. And it goes to the box. McBurney crowded out. Morgan might have a chance to have a go. McBurney again. It's pinball in there.
You can see every Latvian player behind the ball.
McCrory now for Scotland. Every Latvian player behind the ball again. They are looking for their first win in this campaign. And it's maybe results like this in previous campaigns, Kenny, in which Scotland have not been able to qualify. The ones you might expect them to win, with all due respect to the Latvians today.
Yeah, and Scott Game will be really disappointed because he's made the point. He sets high demands from these players. They set high demands for themselves.
Cadden's cross. Zomers misses it. Comes out like Superman. Nowhere near it. A chance for Morgan going for goal. Just wide. The referee got in his way initially, but it was a chance for Scotland. The goalkeeper all over the place. And another chance goes a-begging.
Yeah, I thought the referee was slow to shift. It was good shadow tracking from the ref. But again, Scotland have dragged a few of these efforts wide. But Zomer's nowhere near that.
Well, another chance for Scotland. Morgan couldn't score. And there is a sub for Latvia, another one. And it will be Nikita Ivanovs coming on. Going off is a man who's already been booked, Andreas Chiganics. So it's Ivanovs on, Chiganics off there. His job's done. It was a great cross to help set up the goal from him. In the end, finished by Uldrikis, and that's the difference between the two teams with 14 minutes to play. It is Latvia winning this one.
Chiganics probably lucky still to be on the park as well.
Yep, that kick out on Scott Wright. But Latvia down to 10 men, remember. A red card for Ingaris Stuglis. But Scotland getting a bit frustrated now. The goalkeeper probably is one that you want to test more, given that, like I said, with that cross, he's out like Superman. He's not convincing at times, but he has made good saves this evening as well, you have to say.
He hasn't been tested quite as much as you'd like. But I thought that pass from McCrory was just over hit, but I thought it was the right idea. Maybe just not quite in the same wavelength as Cadden and Wright yet, but into the right area.
McKenna. Taylor. Bit short for Morgan, he wins it though. Taylor back to McKenna.
Morgan just holding his hip, we really need to get him up the pitch.
McKenna. Campbell. Morgan. Bursting forward again, doubling up, but doing enough, getting away from three. Lovely play from Morgan. Is there something at the end of it for Scotland? No. The chance not over yet. Mallon. Taylor. Mallon, Taylor again still. Wants to get it back on that left foot. Crowded out there. It's really tight in there.
It just will not open up for Scotland. They've had so many 1-2s on the edge of the box before being crowded out. They cannot get a clean shot away.
McCrory. Cadden. Does well. Gets a low ball across. There seemed to be a handball there by the captain. But it bounced up. You could argue he didn't know much about it.
I think when we were 1-0 down at home to Latvia, I think that was very much hand to ball.
Yeah. Chernomordis, the captain there, maybe getting lucky. Morgan will do well to keep this one in.
In fairness, it doesn't look deliberate.
No, I don't think it
draws.
So, Ollie McBurney is a man that, well, he's been a spectator, Ryan Fulton, in this second half, and that tells you the balance of play. Scotland going for it. But as I said, McBurney is the guy that is maybe the one getting more and more frustrated because he's just crowded out. He doesn't seem to have any space and he's working hard. He wins a free kick there.
He's working really hard. Unselfish shift tonight from McBurney. He's obviously been told to drop deep. Happy for Hardy to play in front. You just want the ball to fall once for a Scott Wright, a McBurney or a Hardy.
Morgan low this time. Hardy hits of the defender. Taylor with the cross. McBurney up. And Cadden will have to try and keep this one in. He does.
There's that strength of Cadden again, making something out of nothing. Again, just crowded out.
A throw to Scotland.
For all you can be frustrated from a Scotland point of view, I'm labouring the point here. The Latvians are working so hard to defend in numbers.
They are every man behind the ball, and
a straight back five.
They managed to take their chances, or take their chance when it arose. Morgan again, he still looks one of the main threats for Scotland. It was a lovely play earlier to get past three players when it looked impossible. Trying to unlock the door. Taylor now coming inside.
It's one foul.
And going down, that was in the end was a good challenge from, good interception by Uldrikis. The initial challenge certainly though. And on the break, Latvia trying to get forward. With the few times they've attempted that in the second half.
McCrory reads the game so well. Cut out the danger.
Here's Morgan. Taylor now, opportunity for Scotland. Taylor across the face and away. It's just not falling to Scotland.
I think that was one of the few times you want Morgan to stay wide because he was one-on-one with his man. He did cut into a congested area.
Mallon for Morgan.
Morgan again, stay wide.
Ball into the area. Could fall for Hardy here. Taylor is free, but Hardy goes it alone. And Taylor not happy because he was free on to his left. And Hardy decided to go for goal.
Well, running out of time here. This was another chance. Hardy with good footwork. That was the pass into Taylor. Clear shot at goal if Hardy slips them in.
Campbell back to Taylor. Across to Mallon. Again, every man behind the ball for Latvia, as you would expect. Down to 10 men, but one goal up. Uldrik's in injury time in the first half, a lengthy first half due to the floodlight issue. Campbell now away from Emsis, and he's pushed to the ground. A combination of Emsis and Uldrikis, the goal scorer. So free kick to Scotland.
Mallon in a hurry to get the game restarted.
Taken short. Back underway. Cadden in possession. Picks out Mallon. Across to Morgan. He might think about a drive this time. Morgan trying to work the space, and again he goes for goal, pushed away by the goalkeeper. And well, it was a case of Morgan deciding to go for goal because trying to get through a congested area wasn't working.
I really feel for the players because you can see they are trying everything to get back in this game. It just will not fall for them. You could argue too little too late, but I think in the second half they've given it everything.
Well, he decided to go for goal this time, Kenny, and he had a few, he thought about it there, and then again before getting the shot away.
Two strong hands behind it.
Well, the goalkeeper has made some good saves this evening, there's no doubt about that. Some you would expect him to make, but others, in particular that McBurney one, was real instinctive. Both by McBurney to get the flick, but then to make the save. It was good goalkeeping.
I think it's not maybe the player you want to be raving about, but I think Alan Campbell has been terrific for Scotland tonight. He's broken up everything. Sometimes when you're... Oh.
Chance for Hardy! Just over the bar. Well, he's had 3 opportunities this evening, and Hardy can't quite believe it. It was a great chance.
He didn't have much space to work in, Ryan, but he really had to keep his head over the ball, keep the shot down. Scott Wright did well to keep it alive. Running out of time now.
Well, a great chance for Hardy there. It just seemed to fall to him kindly, and he was really unlucky. Fulton. McCrory back to Fulton. Yeah. Spectator in this second half, the goalkeeper. Alan Campbell. Here's Mallon. Looking to burst forward. McBurney's the option. Does well to hold off the defender here. Morgan. Taylor looking for it inside, but Morgan looking to go on the outside. Good ball into the box. Away by Sorokins. And Cadden. Ball in just a bit too deep there. And out it goes. Oh, you'll get your man of the match in a minute, Kenny, but Scotland really getting frustrated at times now because Latvia are basically frustrating them and doing enough here. They're trying to see the game out well. Their game management maybe a bit fortunate at times, but they're doing enough.
I was going to say Scotland are trying to force it, but it's understandable at this stage. They've tried to be patient. They've tried to be intricate in the build-up. They've tried every kind of approach. They've gone wide. They've gone through the middle. They've gone high. They've gone long. Latvia looking as if they're going to hold out, but still time.
Taylor. Now Mallon. Mallon again. Cadden. Well, Scotland will be wanting to win this one, but no doubt they would take a draw now. Can they get back on level terms? Well, that ball in there, there was nobody in there for Scotland. There was no need for that.
Yeah, delivery has to be a bit better than that. Not like Stevie Mallon.
Zomers. He's made 3 or 4 good saves this evening.
Problem is, I've known my man of the match from very early on in the game. I would love someone to pop up with 2 goals and take the title. Got 5 minutes, boys.
Well, Scott Gemmell will be slightly frustrated this evening.
Well, here we go. Maverick Dom Thomas getting ready to come on. Really need a new word for him. But he is capable.
1,400 in attendance here. Ball out wide looking for Taylor.
Scotland obviously going for broke now. Dominic Thomas, whether he's played wide or through the middle, he is
Morgan
capable.
Looking for Wright, and Wright's kind of drifted out of the game slightly as well.
I actually think he's tried, ironically, he's tried his best to drift into the game. He's taken up a central position and there's just no space there for him to operate.
It will be Dom Thomas about to come on. Who do you think will be coming off?
Well, it might be time for Wright to come off. You could maybe move Morgan centrally.
A free kick here, and the change about to be made. And it is Scott Wright, you're correct. And Dom Thomas about to come on. Well, a free kick to Scotland, and they'll be looking to take the opportunity. It's short to Alan Campbell. Taylor, Campbell again. Mallon to float this one in. McCrory going in. Knocked away though.
Needs to be a better delivery again.
McCrory goes down. I think it's more just because his boot has come off there. Morgan, Mallon, Morgan. Forced backward Scotland to Campbell. Taylor, good defending there by Litvinskis. Campbell. Morgan. Dom Thomas. Here's Morgan. Cross into the back post, looks too deep again. And Ivanov lets it run out. Sub for Latvia. Strud's coming on. last sub for Latvia as they tried to run the clock down. Less than 2 minutes to go plus added on time. It's been a frustrating evening for Scotland, and Latvia looks set to get revenge for that 2-0 defeat last month to Scotland in the group. Kenny, your man of the match?
Well, Alan Campbell's the man of the match for me. It was my pick very early on in the game. I'd love to have changed for it to be an attacking player who was more influential. I just think he has been all over the pitch, plugging gaps, mopping up mistakes, doing the unselfish stuff. Sometimes a player that's hard to appreciate when you're not at the game. When you're here and you can see the full pitch, you can really appreciate the importance of someone like Alan Campbell.
Alan Campbell, man of the match. He's got a League Cup final to look forward to with Motherwell after winning against Rangers in the semi-final by 2-0. Louis Moult that day on fire, and Campbell is a young player. Good that he'll get the chance along with Cadden to experience a cup final as well.
And I love that big Hampden pitch.
Morgan. Is there a last chance for Scotland? Thomas, first real involvement here. Morgan again on the left-hand side, looking to cause problems. He's caused a few this evening. Here's Campbell, the man of the match. And it's Mallon going for goal over the bar. And it is frustrating. And it will be 5 minutes of stoppage time.
Well, if anyone wants to score, I'll happily take the man of the match off Campbell. As good as he's been, it's a tired effort from Mallon. Never looked likely to threaten the keeper.
Mallon and the Scotland players sporting the black armband with the poppy on it for Remembrance Weekend. Chernomordis, the captain, back to Zommers. Forward it goes and out. Scotland will try and get something from this one. 1-0 down. That goal in injury time in the first half by Roberts Uldrikis. And it's Morgan's. Lewis Morgan back looking for Hardy. Thomas. Can he get to the byline? Taylor helps him out. Ball comes in, nodded away by Chernomordis, the captain. Hardy nearly lost the flight of the ball, does enough to get it to Campbell. Hardy again. Defending in numbers is something the Latvians have been doing for most of this second half. Morgan's low ball across. It's going to run out for a throw. Taylor now in the box. Goes down, tries to get back up. He wins a corner kick. Latvians not happy.
So no one's thrown in the towel here. Pushing right to the end. I think you'd be an advocate of getting Ryan Fulton right up the park for this.
Potentially. As Mallon flights it in. McKenna gets free. And the referee says there was a free kick. And has he given a penalty kick here? There's a yellow card. There seemed to be a tug. The Scotland players.
Wow.
Well, it's a late drama here in Perth.
Big call.
McKenna seemed to get free for the first time at a set piece. The referee was at close quarters.
Well, I didn't see it, but I can tell you he's got it absolutely spot on.
A real opportunity now for Scotland.
And at first glance, it looks pretty soft.
I think that's putting it lightly, to be fair. Answers on a postcard.
We'll take it.
Well, Hardy has had chances since coming on in the second half. He's been unlucky. Zommers has made saves this evening, but it's a chance for Scotland to get a point that maybe has looked unlikely given their efforts.
Bit of gamesmanship here to try and put Hardy off.
It's Hardy for Scotland. It's 1-1. Scotland score late on, and there is still time potentially for a winner, but it was a cool penalty kick.
Yep.
Well, and Ryan Hardy maybe gets what he deserves for giving Scotland a bit of impact and impetus in this second half.
You had to wait a long time to take it, but Composure personified. Keeper wasn't too far away though.
Ryan Hardy scores. Zomer's maybe a bit unfortunate. And Scotland going for it now.
Well, if he scores another one, he can have Alan Campbell's man of the match. Sure, Alan won't mind.
McKenna forward, looking for McBurney. Uldrikis now, getting that. Scotland going for this one. Mallon. Here's Lewis Morgan. Can Scotland get an unlikely win here? Oh, the ball just falling to the back post. Cadden, he's got support. It's Mallon!
Oh.
Just past the post. Scotland nearly snatching it at the end. Stevie Mallon with the drive. Definitely worth an effort.
Now, if that had gone in, there have been scenes so close.
It was certainly close from Stevie Mallon.
Taking the dark blue tinted specs off, it's hard to argue that Scotland deserve the win. Latvia defended so well, would have taken it.
But they certainly deserve the chances Scotland have had. They deserve a point. I'm not sure about the penalty, but
well, the referee was sure about the penalty. I think he's probably the only one here.
Well,
no one seemed to look for anything.
A red card,
we'll
a penalty.
Anything but dull.
You never know. Morgan, it was blocked. I think it was going wide anyway. You know, Uldrikis
don't
looking
foul.
to get it away, and it is a foul.
Yep.
Takes a sting out of the game, and that's what Uldrikis can do. But the referee's had a bit of an eventful evening. He's had to deal with a floodlight failure. There's been a red card, a penalty. I think I just don't know why the penalty was awarded, to be fair. I think well, if the one against Northern Ireland was bad last night, not sure about that one. The full-time whistle sounds though, and it has finished all square, but it has been an eventful evening. Ryan Hardy getting that late point for Scotland with the penalty kick. Scott Gemmell no doubt will be happy in the end. The Latvians questioning the Danish referee. They were just really oblivious to why the award was given. The coaching staff from Latvia forcing his players away from the officials, but there was certainly the Latvian players were not sure why that penalty was awarded. Ryan Hardy though getting a share of the spoils for Scotland. They'll have to take that in the end. They almost snatched it with a Stevie Mallon shot. They probably deserved the point with the amount of chances they had, but again the debate continues. Chris Cadden will be happy with his evening in the end, but for Scotland, Kenny, it was a bizarre evening, wasn't it?
Who knows how important that point might prove to be, and your sympathy almost extends to the Latvians, because having watched that back, there seemed to be very, very little in it. You can understand why they feel aggrieved, but Scotland had all of the ball in that second half. They did everything to try and force an equaliser, and it came in the most unexpected fashion.
And the goalkeeper there, the number 12 for Latvia, Somers, yeah, he made great saves. At times he was unconvincing, but he kept the ball out of the net, and he nearly saved the penalty as well, but not quite. And it was Scotland who was able to, through Ryan Hardy, the sub, he had chances and he managed to put away the penalty kick, and Scotland pick up a point in this group. It's finished Scotland 1, Latvia 1. Well, what about the key moments here in this game? This the opening goal from Roberts Uldrikis, Kenny, and it came at an unfortunate time just before half-time.
Yeah, it did, and a catalogue of errors at the back. Couldn't quite clear the lines. Lost the second ball, lost the header. Unfortunate all round. A real sore one for a team that prides itself on its defensive resilience.
Yeah, Uldrikis with that goal, and he is the only man to score for Latvia in this qualifying campaign so far. He scored against Ukraine, he scored this evening, and he was in the right place at the right time, out jumping McKenna. Ryan Fulton unlucky not to claw it out, and as you said, he had the running jump on McKenna, who had the standing jump, but it came deep into stoppage time given there was a floodlight failure in the first half. Great cross here.
And the goal doesn't look any better the more times you see it, but certainly Alert did well to jump McKenna. Few do.
Well, that put Latvia 1-0 up at the break. And what about this, Kenny? You called it right away.
Absolute shocker of a tackle. I mean, there is no intent to do anything there other than hurt Cadden. There's no protest from the player.
The referee had a great angle, great view of that.
And I do think it's great refereeing actually to separate Cadden, because it would have been unfair if he'd been dragged into it. You can understand his frustration. Look at that.
I think that's probably the best angle to see how premeditated it was.
The thing is, it wasn't much of a collision before that.
Yeah,
it was as if he just thought, it's a bit chilly here, fancy an early night.
Yep. But that was good refereeing. I'm not too sure about this, though, Kenny.
Genuinely have no idea what that's all about. You could play that replay 10 times. Feel free to you still wouldn't have a clue what it's for.
I think Lipa might have tried to pull back McKenna. Regardless, Ryan Hardy, who had a couple of chances after coming on, made sure. Zomers maybe unfortunate.
Yeah, listen, he guessed the right way. Hardy did well just to squeeze it under him. You can see in Zomers' face the frustration.
And did you think Scotland might have won it here?
No, I think we were at the right angle to see it was going wide, but for the sense of drama, I'd say yeah.
Yeah, Scotland maybe unfortunate there, but at the end it has finished 1-1. But the under 21 action doesn't stop there. We are back here on Tuesday at McDiarmid Park. Scotland taking on Ukraine here in Perth. It is a match that you can see live on the YouTube channel with Kenny and myself if you can't make it along. Great to have you here though, supporting the boys. £5 for adults, £2 for kids. Make sure you can come along and support the under 21s, because it really would help against a Ukraine team that Scotland will be looking to bounce back from this one, dropping points at home, maybe getting fortuitous at the end. £5 for adults, £2 for kids at McDiarmid Park. And as I said, if you can't make it along here, you can watch the game with Kenny and myself on the YouTube channel for live and exclusive coverage. Full time in Perth. It's Scotland 1, Latvia 1.